Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand. 3-2 to Manchester United. But to be honest with you, it should have been 5-2, 6-2. Manchester United had so many opportunities to score more goals, but it is first win for Ruben Amorim under the lights at Old Trafford, and he was waxing lyrical about the Manchester United support. He was loving it, his first time out as Manchester United manager at Old Trafford, and his first win, and it had to come at home in the magic of this stadium. It wasn't all plain sailing though. Wouldn't have been happy to concede 2 goals in the way that we did, but thanks to Rasmus Højlund, we managed to win this game. Rasmus Højlund, his conversion rate is 20%. For a striker, that is excellent. Get him the ball and he will score. I have been a little bit critical in him getting himself into goal-scoring positions, but I think he did everything fantastically today. Ruben Amorim spoke about, after the game, do you know what Ruben Amorim's great at? He's great at giving praise and building a player up, but also talking about criticism and what they need to work on. He was saying he's taking too many touches, he needs to lay the ball off quicker. Exactly what the fans have been saying at the start of the season. But what Rasmus did have today, he had aggression, he had physicality, his pressing was fantastic. And don't get me wrong, every time he steps out onto that pitch, he gives 100%, he gives everything. He's one of the players that does. But today he channeled it in the right way. I'm counting that first goal as a half hat-trick for him, honestly, because he basically made that first goal. All Garnacho had to do is put it in the back of the net through his pressing, his hunger, and he's obviously been working with Ruben Amorim to channel it in the right way. And not only that, we just spoke to him in the mix zone, so make sure you check that out in the United Stand. He's actually getting service into the box. Under Erik ten Hag, Rasmus Højlund was starving. He was hungry in the middle of the box. He was hungry for some service. This system allows him to get more crosses into the box. Although they weren't great crosses, Malacia was just putting them in. Ahmad put them in against Ipswich. That's how Marcus Rashford got his goal from a number 9 position. Ugarte was the guy that made the cross for him today, but it all came from Mason Mount. We'll go talk about him in a second as well. But Rasmus Højlund, yeah, okay, his link-up play needs to work a little bit better. His first touch needs to be better. Sometimes he needs to be a little bit more intelligent in terms of where he's running to in the box. But I already can tell his positional play is better. Ruben Amorim will have been working with him with that. His coaching staff will have been working with him. I mean, it's no coincidence. Look at how many goals Gyökeres scored at Sporting. I know he was already good before he came into Sporting. But Rasmus Højlund, if this was an audition tonight, I want to be your starting striker, I think he absolutely smashed it out of the park. I would not give him a 10 out of 10, but I'd give him a solid 8/9 out of 10. A hat-trick would have sealed the deal, and Ruben Amorim still pointed out some areas he could improve. But if you look at Marcus Rashford's performance against Ipswich, yeah, he scored a goal, but for the rest of the game, he was quite anonymous. Rasmus Højlund, I thought he was good across the whole game today. He was one of my players of the first half, and in the second half he just went on and was even better and managed to get his goals as well, and he's the reason we won this game tonight. So Rasmus Højlund, I think he smashed his audition. I expect him to start against Everton as a striker. He's got that physicality, and I think he can thrive if Ruben Amorim puts his trust in him. He's only young. So Rasmus Højlund, a big gold star from me. Let's talk about the goals we conceded. I said, under Ruben Amorim, there's going to be hiccups, there's going to be bumps in the road. It's not all going to be hunky-dory. It's not all going to be sunshine and rainbow straight away. Erik ten Hag got criticised for how quick this team would concede goals in Europe in succession, how they'd score goals, the first goal, and then they'd end up losing the game. You know, how many 3-2s, 4-2s, 4-3s, you know, how many times have we gone ahead in Europe and lost the game? And you had a sense that could have happened tonight. Ruben Amorim's in the dugout, but Manchester United conceded 2 goals within 4 minutes. It wasn't necessarily an Erik ten Hag problem. I think this squad as a whole has a lot of areas and a lot of mental things they probably need to overcome in terms of confidence and in terms of, you know, how naive they can be in the game and game management. But what we did today is because we've got that foundation, that baseline of control, we managed to go on and create them chances and win the game, and it just feels like it's more controlled under Ruben Amorim. You can see what he's trying to do. What is fantastic is him on the touchline. I was watching him all game, constantly giving directions, constantly giving instructions to players, praising players when they're doing well, telling them when they need to improve. I noticed in the second half he was constantly talking to Diogo Dalot, saying you need to keep wide, you need to look forward. I don't think he was necessarily happy with his performance. I think today's game again was an absolute just, you know, you couldn't make it any clearer that Manchester United need a left wing back. As much as I love Diogo Dalot, He's not started the season great, and I think he's much better on the right. I don't think he's a left wing back in this system. Tyrell Malacia, he got absolutely burned. It's the last thing he would have wanted to be left in that one-on-one situation. He's just coming back from injury, a massively long injury. He got burned. He was good going forward, and I liked having a left footer that could give you that outlet and could give you that continuous crossing into the box, but his crossing wasn't the best, and he needed to come off. He was getting burned for pace. I don't think he's the solution either. Amorim, he said it after Ipswich, he'll be saying it tonight. It's clear as day. We need a left wing back. And in that second half, that Dalot and Garnacho partnership, it just wasn't doing it. Garnacho, that's the play we can talk about. So wasteful. In the first half, I tweeted I thought he was in the top 3 players of the half, and I got absolute pelters for it on my Twitter. Pelters. I'm still getting comments now saying, were you watching the game? I don't know if it's the angle I was watching it from. I think Garnacho is dangerous. He gets into good positions. He makes things happen. He's always in the right place at the right time. He got the first goal. Yeah, granted, it was Rasmus Højlund who did most of the work, but he was getting to the byline, putting more crosses in than he usually does. He was actually looking up. But in the second half, the amount of opportunities he had and he wasted. I'm telling you what, if Garnacho didn't waste opportunities, he could be long gone as our top goal scorer. He could be long gone as up there as one of the players of the season, but he just wastes opportunities. He makes the wrong decision. If he's one-on-one in goal and he gets put through for a through ball, he's probably not going to make the wrong decision. He's either going to shoot and it's going to go wide, or he's going to not get the pass right. The only time, to be fair, even in the Liverpool game when Ahmad scored 4-3 under Ten Hag to take us, through in the FA Cup, even that pass was a bit off. Ahmad did brilliantly with it, but Garnacho, he needs to work on his final decision making. That is absolutely clear, but it looks like Amorim really likes him. Played a full game tonight, played a lot of the game against Ipswich. Amorim likes him. Let's move on to Bruno Fernandes. Playing a bit deeper today. I think he was a lot more disciplined. I think he was slightly at fault in the first goal, but a lot of the team were poor defensively. The majority of the team were poor defensively. I think it's getting used to the new setup. You have to press very high, and then sometimes you can get left, and it's about making them intelligent decisions. But Bruno Fernandes, I think, deeper, way more disciplined, and I thought he did pretty well. It's just when you're in that situation for, I think it was the first or second goal, I can't remember what it was, when basically just went through the midfield and we got counter-attacked on. I can't remember which goal it was. He didn't win the ball, and then he was a little bit slow getting back, and it's just positionally. That's what happens when you have quite a few naturally attacking players in your team. Sometimes you miss that instinct, that natural defensive instinct and defensive discipline. But I think deeper, he showed he can play there. He was a lot more disciplined, and he did dictate from a deeper role. So I think it was a pretty average game for Bruno, but I think he did well in terms of changing his game up, and he proved today I can play multiple positions, I can adapt to systems. I'm not just a long ball over the top hit and hope, and I thought it was a much more tidy game from him today in terms of his possessional play. Mason Mount, I thought first half he was okay. I thought second half he was sensational. That little flick for the goal where Ugarte crossed it for Rasmus, that is what you want from Mason Mount. He's intelligent, he's technically good. His pressing actually in the first half was fantastic. His energy. I mean, I was saying to Ryan, no wonder he gets injured. Have you seen the pace he's getting about the pitch and the energy he has? He will absolutely work his socks off for the team, and that's exactly what you want from your players. I just hope he comes through this game fit. I hope we don't hear Mason Mount had a knock, Mason Mount's had a setback. I want him to stay fit because I really think he can claim one of them number 10 spots. I think he's only going to get better. He's been out for a while now, and I thought he was really good in that game. Who else was playing? Ugarte. How he was on the bench for Ten Hag, I don't know. Is he the flashiest player? Nope. Is he the glitz and the glam? No, but he allows other people to thrive. It was like we had 3 Ugates on the pitch. Fantastic. I thought he was so solid. His passing always finds a red shirt. He always finds himself at the right place in the right time. He sniffs out danger really well. I think he'll go under the radar, but he was up there as one of the best performers as well for me. Let's move into the back 3. The wing backs. I thought Anthony did all right. I don't think it was an amazing game. I don't think it was a poor game. I think he was getting used to his position. I don't think it helps that he doesn't have a right foot. So many times I wanted him to get down the right flank and cross the ball into the box, a little bit like Malacia was doing, but he's always cutting back, and I think Mount was trying to make them underlapping runners to get on the receiving end of that cross. But do you know when I said that when the tactics get leaked and other teams can prepare for it, I felt like they did prepare for that. Every time Mason Mount would make the run, the passing lane would be cut off from Anthony to get it to him. So they did struggle to put them combinations together. But in terms of wing back, who had a better performance, Ahmad or Anthony? Ahmad against Ipswich or Anthony tonight? I would say Ahmad, but I do think Anthony, that's the best place he can get into this team. So It was a decent. It was an okay game. It was an okay game. I don't think he did anything necessarily wrong. It just wasn't anything to write home about, to be honest. The three defenders, I thought they were okay. I thought Alessandro Martinez, you could tell he wasn't his full self, but I love that tackle where he just smashed in when Malacia was going to get done again. He's a captain, Alessandro Martinez. He's a leader, but I don't think it was his best game. I thought when Luke Shaw came on, he was absolutely class. Luke Shaw, for all of his injury problems, he's absolutely class. If he's on it, he's probably the best centre-back, the best left-back, whatever. Honestly, in the league, like genuinely, and people laugh at me for that, but he's so good. Like, just, he's got power, he's got pace, he's got intelligence, he's good on the ball, he's class. He's genuinely class. He's strong. He's got everything. So he's got great anticipation. I thought De Ligt maybe was a little bit off it as well. And now let's get on to a player that I just think signing of this. We said it on the United Stand. Sign of the century, sign of the season. Noussair Mazraoui, the man that you are. The man that you are. I am so not used to Manchester United players putting in performance after performance after performance. Erik ten Hag, Ruben van Nistelrooy, Ruben Amorim, it doesn't matter. Noussair Mazraoui is absolutely fantastic, and he's a staple in this team. Play him at centre-back, play him at right wing-back, play him at left wing-back. Triple him. Actually, times him by 11. He could play anywhere. His work rate, his technical ability on the ball, his silkiness, his smoothness, his mentality, it's just consistent. You're at least getting a 7 out of 10 every single game. I said on the build-up show, I called him from Old Trafford. They said, Beth, what's your prediction for who's going to be man of the match? I said, Mazraoui. He turns up every single game. And again, he turns up. He's just incredible. And Ruben Amorim was absolutely loving him after the game. He was talking so highly of him. He was giving him so much praise, saying he's the future of this team. And Bayern Munich, how you sold him for £15 million, I have no idea. If I was a Bayern Munich fan, I would be absolutely fuming. Mazraoui is class. He genuinely is class. Should it have been 3-2? No, I think that scoreline massively compliments Bodø Glimt. But you know what? Bodø Glimt, they've got a great story. I mean, in terms of where they've come from. You know, for them to even score 2 goals here, it's fantastic for them, for their club and where they've come from. I was speaking to Andy Mitten about it before in the history of Bodø Glimt, so respect to them. But it should have been, Manchester United shouldn't have conceded them 2 goals, they were sloppy, and we should have scored at least 5 goals. Garnacho could have had a hat-trick himself, so lessons to take. We're still going to have some bumpy moments, bumpy results. I stand by that, but we focus on Everton. Get in the comments down below who from this game has got themselves into the starting 11 for Everton. I'd say Rasmus has. I'd say Mount has. I'd say Ugarte has. Anybody else? Get in the comments down below if anybody's managed to get themselves into the starting 11. My man of the match is between Mazraoui or Rasmus. Probably give it Rasmus Højlund just because his goal won us the game, but it was made by Mazraoui. I'd give him a joint man of the match. Get in the comments yours down below. It's nearly midnight here at Old Trafford. Honestly, unbelievable. Check out the Rasmus Højlund interview as well. Thank you for watching. I'm buzzing about Ruben Amorim's first win. You've got charisma on the sidelines. Absolutely love it. I will see you on the next one.